Well, I want to talk about something that's probably, I think it's going to be a reality, probably not something that's going to be music to the ears of the conservative type people out there. I probably lean more conservative. I don't know what the hell politically I am. I'm not really liberal, I know that. But I think when the next election comes around, we're probably going to see Hillary Clinton as our next president. And some people are going to be like, I don't think it's really good, but I think it's reality. So, what's the price of silver going to be when Hillary Clinton is president? Now, I think what's going to happen, I think it's reality. She's playing low key on a Benghazi type deal. You know, she's playing her cards sharply, shrewdly, and the big people are behind her. And the only reason she would have been president already, and I obviously know the women are going to vote for her. So a lot of women are, not all of them, but it's good. You don't need to have all the women vote for her to actually make a difference. It's going to be enough to give her enough votes. She probably won't get the male votes, and I don't know what kind of deal that's going to be with Bill Clinton. With his ladies and stuff like that in the White House. It's probably going to be a real circus show to the max. But politically, she'll support Israel very staunchly. It looks like Obama, the guy's a Muslim, man. I mean, really, when it comes down to it. And I think a lot of policies that, I expected to actually happen in the Middle East did not come about because they're being blocked by the Obama administration. Actually, it's Valarie Jarrett, who, if you don't know who she is, basically she's kind of like the de facto president behind the scenes. She was that attorney up in Chicago. If you don't know who she is, she's like the senior White House advisor. She pretty much screens everybody that sees Obama, and everybody's scared of her or something. I went over this a while back, and she was born or raised, or she spent some time in Iran, and and you consider like Obama's like pretty much a Muslim. That has a lot to do with why different things have been going on against Israel. Now, I know on YouTube, man, there's a lot of people that don't support Israel at all, and I don't blatantly support Israel like just carte blanche. But I also see there's a popular type of conspiracy theory out there that Jews control the world and all this kind of stuff. And there's a lot of anti-Israel feelings out there, and that's not really, what's going on. I think Israel's getting set up, to tell you the truth. And actually, if you look at the wealth of the average Israeli citizen, actually a lot of them are below the poverty level. They got a lot of they got more problems in Israel with the average citizen, with wealth, than they do even do in Europe. Okay, so it's not like and I don't want to keep talking about that because that's not really the subject. But if you look around, there's a lot of different sides to a different story. So I'm not anti-Israel, and that's a fact. Okay, but when a Hillary Clinton gets in, I think she's going to be your Hillary Rodham Clinton, whatever her name is. She's going to be changing, drop the Clinton. I don't know what the hell she is. She's going to actually support Israel like a dog on a leash, like that ridiculous. Like she's going to just do whatever they say. That is why I think there'll be a conflict in the Middle East when she gets in, for sure. For sure. And actually, I don't know if it might be a very fast conflict too. The other thing is because there's so much coming on in the United States as far as military hardware. We got the largest new class of Ford class of aircraft carriers is probably going to be available at the time. We got a new destroyer out. It's stealth destroyers and stuff. I mean, there's so much stuff out there. It probably ain't going to last that long, but that may be your time for when the silver really spikes a lot because of problems in the Middle East. It's always been the case when there's a major problem in the Middle East. You'll see gold go up, oil goes up, fear of supplies. And, even though the United States is producing more oil domestically, that if there's a disruption in the supply of oil, and that's related to silver and gold all the way, okay? If there's a disruption in the supply of oil in the global market, it raises the spot price. It just does, okay? So it doesn't have to be like a 50% supply disruption to make double. If there's like a 2 or 3% supply disruption, that could easily make the price go up way over 50% or more. Now, one of the things that predicates out there that people talk about with the dollar going away and all this type of stuff is there's nothing out there to replace it. That's one of the deals that when people say, yeah, buy silver, buy gold because the dollar's going to go away and all this stuff, loses world reserve currency status. The thing is, there's nothing out there to really replace the dollar right away. It's doing it piecemeal. The only thing that can actually knock down the dollar a lot faster would be a government debt default. And the only way that's going to happen, it'll get some warning signs, is if the interest rates start creeping up. Now, there's been a couple little warning signs where they did creep up a little bit, but it doesn't look like nothing's going to happen right away. Now, I'm of the contention that I think gold, it's not exactly a 1-to-1, but a lot of times gold does move, and gold is attached to silver, more or less. Silver and gold pretty much move together, but gold pretty much is a lot of times an inverse of the general's equities market. A lot of times, and not perfectly, but a lot of times it is. So in other words, when you're seeing a peak in the equities markets, you might not be seeing, because people are making a lot more money off the interest of the stocks, not the interest, but the payments or the dividends, and they're making money off the the actual price values of the stocks and that type of stuff, so they don't go into gold, right? But there is a lot of common sense indications out there that the stock market's going to fall. I know I talked about the 6 Hindenburg omens before. To me, George Soros' big bet that he made back in mid August of 2013 that the S&P will fall, he made a major bet, a bearish bet against the S&P. It hasn't played out yet, but he's playing his cards. He's waiting a while. It's going to happen. That guy, I think, is very smart. You might not like him, but the thing is, that guy, he did not inherit his wealth. He got his wealth by being shrewd and watching the scene, right? So I think that's going to play out. He's betting that the markets are going to go down. Mark Farber always talks about the markets going down. Surprised they haven't fallen, doom and gloom and boom and stuff. But he would not buy too many American stocks at this time because they're relatively high price compared to the rest of the world. Now, another indication out there that the stock market may fall is the VIX, the volatility index. It's like when the volatility index, you can call it the fear index, the VIX, it's very low. It's like near historical low levels. That means everybody's confident. Everything's great. And the stock market's way up, That's usually what happens. That's the Mark Farber strategy. Do the opposite of what the majority do, right? And the opposite of what the majority do would probably go into silver right now, Silver actually at $20, the mines are losing money even at a little over $20, So most of them are. The small miners are getting clobbered. And I know silver is a byproduct of copper and all this type of stuff. There's not too many. I think there's like one, just silver mine in Bolivia, but the miners aren't doing good. That's the one area in all the stocks, in all the equities, that's doing terrible, where everything else is doing great. So, that's something to keep in consideration, because it's almost like, there is a little bit of an inverse relationship between gold and the stock market. A little bit. Sometimes it doesn't work that way on a daily basis, but when you look at a real long range chart, like over, 80 years or something like that, you could see the difference. Now, I don't want to put something out here where you're going to be holding your breath for 80 years, but I think where things are really, really, really going to heat up is when Hillary Clinton is president. I don't want to say that as a shoo-in, but you will definitely know what's going to happen if you want to know if the power. I think the powers that be are behind her pretty well, and I think she'll have the vote of most of the women, and she's going to staunchly support Israel in any kind of endeavor. In other words, Obama basically ratted out Israel about, some of the strikes they did against Syria and stuff, and it's another thing. Israel's afraid to tell the Obama administration about anything they're going to do because they figured, the administration through Valarie Jarrett, it's like they got connections and sympathies to Iran a lot, so. And if it was Hillary Clinton right now, it would be a totally different story. Totally different story. And I think she'll win. I think Obama actually got a lot of, support from American Jews because of the social issues. He actually, if you took Israelis, their vote of the Israelis, if I think I have this correct, they actually went more with Romney because Romney was more of a supporter of Israel. But American Jews, if I got this correct, I don't know, I mean, it's like I could tell you there's Jewish people that I know that don't support Obama at all because he's bad for business. Okay. Obamacare and stuff, they're pissed off. And actually Sam Zell, I think, is another guy that freaking can't stand him. I put down, I think so. If I put down Sam Zell's words of wisdom. So I'm going to link that video again because I think that's real simple stuff. Real important now. Real important. Real simple, real important. And you don't like Obama either. I think. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure of it though. But anyway, it's because of the Muslim connection or whatever the hell it is. But I don't want to get into all this religion stuff. But, I'm just trying to point out something because that has a lot to do with why there hasn't been a action against Iran already. It's not just because the country's populous and stuff. I mean, if we had a, if can you imagine if we had McCain as president, it would have happened. Regardless, the guy's a major hawk, right? It would have happened. And it's hard to say what the exact outcome is because nobody ever knows. But I can tell you one thing: there's a hell of a lot of military hardware and technology out there that the United States has that, even though Iran is much bigger land-wise and has much bigger population and all this type of stuff, they need to, the whole idea is not to take over the country. It's actually to do, it's actually the regime that's given the Western oil-driven dollar people. You know what I'm saying? That oil drives the U.S. dollar. That's really what the problem is. We know the deal. It's not actually even that Israel's afraid of the nuclear weapons and stuff. I don't know about all that stuff, but the thing is, the real reason that the West is seeing Iran as an enemy is because of the what Iran is trying to establish as an oil bourse in the area, together with Russia and stuff like that, to basically undermine the power and the clout of the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. Because today, all oil is traded in, pretty much all oil, most oil, is traded in U.S. dollars. But in Iran's oil, they don't even accept U.S. dollars. So it's a bigger crime to the Western powers than even what Saddam Hussein did when he's freaking changed from U.S. dollars to euros, and what also Gaddafi tried to do when he tried to change to a gold dinar currency for oil. So, we know the deal. Now, I think Hillary Clinton is, unless the Republicans come up with somebody that isn't boring or something, I don't know. Because they seem to come up with these, like, we had Bob Dole in there, and it was like, it was almost like a guarantee that guy was going to lose. I don't know who the hell they could put in there, but, it seems like things are, they already know who's going to win at the presidential level. But you just got to remember, at the level where it counts the most, the House of Representatives, which you'll elect every 2 years, people got voices. They could, they're local people, man. You could throw them in and out every 2 years. They live right in your district. You know what I mean? If they ain't doing what you want them to do, and that's where all the money gets appropriated from. That's where all the laws come from. And supposedly they're the ones that decide if the country's going to go to war or not. And even if the president decides to do an action on war, the House of Representatives can say no. So the people, if they want to wake up, they could do a hell of a lot. You know what I'm saying? But just looking at some reality here, because just how the lethargic population is in general, I think Hillary Clinton's going to be president next time. And that's a damn good sign. Not a good sign, but a damn sure sign that we're going to war. Because I think she will 110% support Israel in anything they want. And it's not like the Jewish people are voting for this deal. You know what I mean? It's going to be like Netanyahu or whatever the hell it is. So it's almost a guarantee. We're going to war, man, if Hillary Clinton is president. And, I think, in my opinion on her, is like, she's not stupid. And I know that. She's not stupid. And, there's some things about her that I don't think she's that shrewd on. So I don't really think she's that strong of a leader. She's probably a lot more intelligent, though, than Obama. That I would give her. I think she's a lot more intelligent than Obama. Obama's not too bright, I think. I think that's a fact. But, who the hell actually controls the U.S.? Is it the president or is it the big money? It's the big money. We all know that. And, when Hillary Clinton gets in to be president, I think we're going to have some high prices in silver. So you might not like her as president. You might be smiling all the way to the bank. So let me leave you with that. All right.